All right, Hippo Balls Week 6 coming to you live from Hippo Den. It's Hippo himself. We have a special edition of Hippo Balls with Judge Hippo, and I am ruling on Drake London Gate today. I've been in my chambers reviewing evidence and case law, preparing for my final ruling, which I will issue today. Gabe has complied with all records requests, and I am prepared to rule at this time. To consider this matter, I had to go back to contract law, which admittedly I did get a D in law school. For a contract to be valid and enforceable, there must be an offer, acceptance of that offer, consideration, and mutual understanding or meeting of the minds. Both parties must also have mental capacity, which I will get into later. But let's start with offer. There was an offer made by Danny, which it's important to note that Danny is the one who made the offer. And that offer being Pat Fryermuth, Miles Sanders, DK Metcalf, Jamar Chase, Drake London, and Green Bay defense. Can't forget about Green Bay defense. For Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, Zach Ertz, CeeDee Lamb, Rashard White, and Jacksonville defense. Next, you move on to acceptance of that offer, and here, of course, is where the issue lies. Was the trade as proposed accepted? After reviewing the text messages, which were sent out to the league by Danny in violation of our rules of trade confidentiality, might I add, and reviewing further messages from Subpoena and Gabe's phone records, you can see at 2:52 p.m. on October 11th, 2022, Danny said, "Let's do it." At that point, Danny sends the trade to Gabe through the Yahoo app platform. At 2:58, Gabe states, "I accept, pending the health of Drake London. If he can't play this week, we revisit Wilson for London." This constitutes a counteroffer by Gabe. Danny says, "Ha ha ha." Gabe says how unenjoyable the experience has been, and then Danny rejects the counteroffer by stating, "I am not doing weirdo shit like that," at 2:59 p.m. And then he states, "Accept the trade or counter," at 2:59 p.m. At this point, Gabe accepts the trade as is at 2:59 p.m. Gabe states, "Pending the health of London," at 2:59 p.m., which Danny question mark emojis. And Gabe continues, "Remember, I am the commissioner," at 2:59 p.m. Whether this is a tongue-in-cheek joke or a great abuse of power, this is still an attempt at a counteroffer, which Danny again rejects. Next, we go to the WhatsApp chat, which shows at 2:58 p.m., Gabe announcing collusion of the highest order. He posts a weird picture of the trade at 3 p.m. in the evaluate trade window. He then again at 3 p.m. writes in the WhatsApp chat, "This trade is pending the health of Drake London." Now, Danny will say Gabe posted the trade unaccepted in the group to gauge the league's reaction, whether he won or lost, before ultimately accepting or rejecting the trade. I'm not a strict construction judge, and from the text messages showing acceptance at 2:59 p.m., I disagree with the line of thought. Gabe would also be tarred and feathered and removed from power immediately if he posted this trade and then decided to renege afterward. Also, from deposing the commissioner earlier this morning, all trades come to him to evaluate to review in that window setting, including his own after they accepted by the members who made them for possible veto power, which of course is never used unless there's collusion. Here we have no collusion, bullying, possibly, probably, maybe even likely, but there is no collusion. Also, the trade went through officially at 3:03 p.m. before anyone in the group substantially gave an opinion of the trade. There was a lot of There was a wife swap question mark by Tim, but no one really said anything one way or the other. As for Gabe stating in the group that the trade is pending the health of Drake London, this is again a counteroffer. Gabe was never going to take Garrett Wilson off Danny's team days later, nor would that trade be voided. He could ask Danny for Wilson at a later date for Drake London, which of course Danny would have been able to accept or reject. The league has never and never would have let a player be taken off a team and added to another unilaterally. Thirdly, there was there adequate consideration by both parties for a contract to exist? A set of players for a set of players. Whether we believe one set of players is better than the other set is neither here nor there. and that's a subject determined by the offeree and the offerer. Mutual understanding or meetings of the mind, step 4. Was there a mutual understanding? In my opinion, yes. It is important to note that Danny was the one who proposed this trade and numerous others in the days and nights leading up to this trade. Gabe countered, Danny rejected, and ultimately the trade was accepted by Gabe as is. 5, we reach mental capacity to make a trade or enter into a contract, and I think here is the trickiest part. Gabe states that Danny needs to be checked out mentally in a text to him after the trade, thus putting into controversy Danny's mental capacity to trade or to enter into a contract. Having dealt with Danny myself for days on end into the wee hours of the night, dealing with trade discussions, I too have questions about his mental capacity. This on top of waiting 24 hours and then posting confidential trade discussions in the group in the hopes of a trade cancellation show moves of an unwell man. But I am not a doctor or a psychologist, and if Jeffrey Dahmer was found mentally competent to stand trial, I assume Danny would as well. After reviewing all of these factors, I have come to the ruling that this trade stands as is. My ruling is final. I will reserve sanctions against the moving party Danny at this time, but I want to remind the group of our bylaws and confidentiality provisions. Who's back, who's dead, and who's not back but not dead has been canceled due to time constraints. On to NFL weather. Only really one game to note. Jets-Packers, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds with a few showers, temperatures in the 40s. Miami, Minnesota, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, possible rain but unlikely. On to matchups. I'm not going to go too deep into these again. We got Boom v. Wave God. Boom projected 133. Wave God projected 141. Ben, of course, made a trade with Bird for Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's out, unfortunately. The trade's not being voided either. Give me Wave God for the win here. Next, we have Sean and Noah. Noah already had Scary Terry get 8, Brian Robinson get 12. Sean has no Josh Jacobs, no Brandon Cooks, no Damian Pierce. Those players have been playing very well for Sean. Unfortunately, he does not have them this week. He had Curtis Samuel put up 2.6. Give me Noah in the win there. Next, you have Danny Navid. Danny was projected to win earlier this week before Darrell Henderson became an RB1 with Cam Akers now out. Navid does have no Derrick Henry. Demon got 9 for Danny. Navid now projected 128, 119. Unfortunately, I believe Navid continues his wins and Danny moves to 0-6. Tim v. Gabe. Tim projected 123. Gabe projected 116. Gabe got Kenneth Walker off the waiver wire for all of his cash. I think it was a good pickup. I was willing to spend all of my money as well. Drake London is playing, by the way. So the trade would have never been voided even if that was the case. There is no Swift for Gabe's team. There's no Waller and no St. Brown for Tim's team. He did pick up Eno Benjamin, who looks like he's going to be starting for at least this week and possibly another week. Eno in a great matchup. I like the pickup by Tim. Give me Tim 123, 116 for the win. Eli, Jan. Eli projected 130. Jan projected 113. Jan has no Hawkinson. And Eli has no James Conner, but he has Mark Andrews, who's been dominant. Mahomes, Aaron Jones in a great matchup. Give me Eli there. Lastly, we got Bird v. Hippo. Very close, 112, 113 projections. Keenan Allen still out for Bird. Great pickup for Deion Jackson for Bird. Looks like he's going to be starting for the Colts. Not good for me. But Russ is still a bum. Pitts is still a bum. Olave is out for me, so I'm starting Dobbs. Don't like that. T. Higgins, if he plays, I'm going to start him, and if he does the same thing he did last week, then I'm dead, of course. Taysom Hill, I'm hoping, goes off again because the Saints have all of their players out. Give me, but I'm not confident about it with the T. Higgins thing. Hippo picks of the week. Over Vikings-Dolphins, I want to take Dolphins +3. I still probably will myself. I don't advise it. Skylar Thompson starting, even though Teddy Bridgewater clearly didn't even have a concussion, and he's cleared. Also, Tua is cleared. I don't understand what we're doing. I guess trying to appease the media that we're playing Skylar Thompson makes no sense to me. Either way, I'm taking over 45. I think the Vikings are going to put up some points, of course, and I think that Skylar's going to put up points too. The Vikings defense is not that good. Dolphins defense has clearly not been that good either. I think over 45 is good. I think Dolphins can win, but I definitely think we'll put up some points. Over 45, that's my pick of the week. Jets plus 7.5 at the Packers. I think Brees Hall's been running very well. I think the Jets are not as terrible as people think. I think the Packers are really wonky every week. Do I think they can win by a touchdown? Sure, but you have 7.5. I like Jets plus 7.5. Giants plus 5.5 at the Ravens. Ravens are good, sure, but the Giants are really good, and they're still not getting the respect they deserve. I think the Giants keep it close, whether they win or not. They have a better record than the Ravens. Saquon's been going off. Daniel Jones has been playing five. I like Giants plus 5.5, and then finally Bucks minus 9.5 at the Steelers. Steelers have injuries. Kenny Pickett's getting better, I guess, but he's still Kenny Pickett. Tom Brady's going to go off this week. They have the whole offense back. Packers D is missing everyone in their secondary, including Fitzpatrick. Every single person's out. Bucks are going to feast. Bucks team total you should also probably take. Bucks by 1 million. That's Hippo Balls. May luck be on your side.